Alrighty, Patriots. So in this lesson, we are going to look at how to read a two-way table, and I'll show you how to calculate probabilities from that. So remember, we talked about this at the very beginning of this unit, but let's revisit it one more time and look at it a little bigger. What is a two-way frequency table? Well, this is a frequency table that uses rows. Rows go left to right, and columns up and down. So rows go left and right, columns go up and down to establish a frequency of events in two categories. So frequency is just a count. So like right here, if you're looking at this one, so the following is the result of a survey of junior high students to determine which sport was their favorite sport. And so I talked to kids and they said basketball or football. Right here in sixth grade, 16 people said basketball was their favorite. In sixth grade, 8 people said football was their favorite. And then there were 24 sixth graders that were asked. That's how we read that. If you look down here, if we read it in columns, for football, 8 sixth graders said it was their favorite. 16 seventh graders said it was their favorite. And 6th, 8th graders said it was their favorite. And 30 people said football was their favorite. So that's how we read it. We read it in rows and in columns. So how do I find the probability with a two-way frequency table? When we're given these tables, they have categories across the top and on the side. You're going to be asked to focus on a column, a row, or on the table as a whole. So if I just say, hey, what's the probability of something happening? That's always a whole probability. This will always be the whole table because it's one event. If you see something like this, what's the probability that B happens given that we're only looking at columns? That's going to be the desired number in that column over the column total. This means only look in the column. And this is what's the probability of an event happening given that we're only focusing on a row. But what I'm going to give you is the category name. So let's do this. Let's actually try one. So the following is the result of a survey of junior high students to determine which sport is their favorite. Always know what we're talking about. So what's the probability that somebody picked basketball as their favorite? Notice it only says one event, basketball. So this is going to be the number of people who like basketball over the total number. So that would be 60 over 90, which then would become 2/3. Okay, focus on basketball, all the basketball people. One event. Okay, so it's one event, so that's always with the total. Same table. So what's the probability someone's in 8th grade given they like football? Okay. So this says only look at football. Only look at football. So I'm only looking at that column right there. Only look at the football. And the people in football I want to find are the 8th graders. So if I see where they mix right here, so that's going to be the 6 people in 8th grade who said football was their total. 6th, 8th graders, 30 people like football. And then I can reduce this to 1/5. All right, what's the probability that someone is in football that they preferred football, and they're in sixth grade. So these are the folks I want to find right here. So football, so this column, and sixth grade. Sixth grade, football, that's those 8 people. But notice I only want football in sixth grade, so that means the 90 has to be on bottom. Okay, this was not a conditional probability. It didn't say football given that they're in sixth grade. Okay, these are different. This one said and. Okay, it wasn't conditional. So please know the difference. All right. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to do some of these problems on our assignment. And if you have any questions, make sure you ask, talk to your teacher, and Patriots, we'll see you when we see you.